Alright, so the old 2006 GMC Envoy, the brake pedal has gotten a little hard. It's been about 7 or 8 months since I've actually done anything to it. I did put new brakes on the front. I don't remember how the back ones were, but I'm beginning to think maybe one of the pins on the wheel on the calipers may be starting to stick. I see this a lot, or maybe even one of the calipers itself has gotten bad and it's sticking or something. But when I go to hit the brake, coming up to a light, or even a stop sign, or even trying to stop really fast, maybe going 55 or 60, this pedal gets really hard. And I don't know, I got a full pedal, but it's just really hard at times. So we're going to go ahead and just take every wheel off of this thing. I did get an alignment of the front end. That was about 80 bucks. Took it to a dealer, well, a local shop that has an alignment shop. Got that done. So it steers great. It goes straight down the highway. It's just when I hit the brakes, they're really hard. It doesn't pull left or right or anything. So I guess we'll start tearing some things apart here. We'll start with the front left here and see what we can find. And hopefully, well, I don't know which one we'll start with. Probably front right. And go from there and see what we can find. Alright, so on this side, the caliper seems to be okay. It's not stuck, but these pins, this one here was a little froze. So I put some oil on it. It seems to be okay now. This one's in good shape. So I don't think this one was the problem, but it was a little sticky. Now it's nice and free, so we'll go ahead and check the other side. And the brakes are okay on this side. Alright, now we are on the passenger side front. And like I said, on the other side, we found that one pin that was kind of froze up a little bit. We greased it. It seems to work pretty good. These on this side seem to be okay. I pulled these out, pulled the boot off here. So I'm going to put some grease in here. Check the pads are okay. I did check the caliper. It seems to be okay. I did take my clamp, push those cups back in there. Sometimes I've seen just one of these will stick and you have to free it up, then your pedal becomes a lot better. But so far, the only thing we found is on the driver's side. So since we're good here, we'll go ahead and put all these pins back in, put this all together, and take a look at the back and see if there's anything back there that might be causing our pedal to be a little hard. But again, we may have fixed it, I don't know, from the other side, but we'll know here in a little bit when we take it out for a ride. Alright, after about 6 months, you know, I've had this problem before, and I just had a sneaky suspicion that maybe these upper control arm bolts up here were loose, and would you know, this one here had backed out about a 1/2 inch. And this one back here was backed out about 1/4. So I've taken a 13/16 inch wrench and gone in here and tightened these up a little bit more, and they shouldn't be a problem, hopefully. So I've seen this in the past. I'm not sure why these back out, but this is why this front driver's side wheel, when I go across the center of the highway, where there's like right down the middle, where there's a little, it usually will rut it out a little bit, and when this wheel would cross that, I would feel this jerk, like kind of like a movement, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I thought it was the upper and lower ball joints bad again, but turns out these bolts were loose, so you might want to check yours if you replace those. But anyway, let's get back to the other side here. So these are just some of the things that you find when you're working on vehicles, but this is the right front passenger side, and this is all back together. We've got some oil in the slider pins. You're supposed to use lithium grease, but for now I'm doing whatever I can get in here, because it's going to start raining. It's cold, but also this will kind of help you guys out when you're looking for maybe something that's causing a hard brake pedal. But everything here has been replaced. It's been aligned. $80 for an alignment over at the shop, just like it should be in the specs, but it does drive 100% better after I've got my alignment. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back to the back rear and see if we can find anything back there that may be not right. Alright, so we're on the back rear, and let's see what's going on back here. These bolts came out fairly easy, and that comes off pretty good. Now, I'm just going to, these things are so light. Oh, well, just let it hang there. I know someone's going to, oh, you shouldn't do that. Whatever. Alright, so these are free. These are free, so that's good. But I'm going to shoot some oil in there, just like I did the other one. Pads are in good shape. You get the light, you can probably see a little bit better. But, well, actually, this inside one here, that pad, I think it's time for a new pad there. Look at that. So I better go ahead and replace it while I got this wheel off here. But yeah, that's not bad. But everything else here seems to be okay, and this piston seems to be alright. I'll push it back in. Alright, so I just went ahead and pulled the trigger because I had some pads. I always keep extra parts. These are new. I've had about a year, but now we just went ahead and put some new pads on there. It's not going to hurt because it's almost Christmas, and this will also make it stop, and the pedal will feel better too. So you can see the thickness there. So everything here seems to be okay. Let's go to the other side. Alright, so we're on the left driver's side rear, and so far this seems to be okay. But yep, same problem back here. This is why I thought I better check everything along with the pins. I had no idea my pads were this bad. So we're just going to replace them all. You know, let's check the pins. That's why we wanted to be back here to begin with, and that seems to be okay there. That one's moving. And this top one up here, I think you can kind of see it. Let's check it out real quick, get you a little closer. It's getting dark out here pretty fast. And yep, this one's fine too. So we'll just put some pads on here, and we'll have a new brake, all new brake pads on the back, and the front ones are like new. So I think a combination of the pads, checking new pads, putting new pads on, checking all the pins, except for that front left one, it was a little sticky. I think our brakes are going to be 100% better. So let me go ahead and get this on. Alright, so there's our new pads. What a difference. And we got our piston pushed all the way back in there. And all we got to do now is put it all together and take it for a ride. Remember, after you do something like this, you got to pump that pedal a few times before you drop her down and drive. Make sure you get all the pistons squished back together so they're nice and tight on these brake pads and all that. So enough talking. Let's go ahead and finish up here. Hopefully this video will help you out. Hey, let me know where you're watching from right now. Alright, all I gotta do is put the wheel back on. While I'm under there, I'm shooting some oil in that frame to keep it from rusting out. I will say I am so glad I had some extra parts laying around. If I had to go to the parts store immediately tonight to get these would be about $50. I got these for like $23 on eBay. I just kept an extra pair in case I needed them. But man, I'm so happy I kept all that stuff. That I had these extra brakes. Wow. Alright everyone, it's actually about a week later, and I've been driving it, and boy, what a difference in my brakes. I had no idea that the rear pads are that bad, and also I had that caliper pin. It was stuck a little bit, and I think that was part of the issue. But man, when I touch these brakes now, it's kind of dark here, I don't think you can see my foot. It stops really good now. It doesn't pull one way or the other. So sometimes you just gotta pull each wheel off and look under there and see what you can find. You never know, because I didn't realize how long it's been since the back pads had not been changed. Matter of fact, I've had this thing almost 4 years, and I think I've changed them maybe one time. So, sometimes you can just forget things, but like coming up to this light here, man, I just barely touched that pedal, and it makes a huge difference. So glad that's been taken care of, and hopefully this video will give you some ideas what to do. If you have a hard brake pedal, you'll probably have to pull each wheel off and just inspect everything and all that to get it the way you want it. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching the video, and hopefully this might give you some tips and some ideas what you can do. And until my next video, I'll see you later, as I barely tap on my brake pedal here and it stops really nice.